We just want to say thank you to Brunton Studio for allowing us to use their space. You can call, message them on Instagram, email them, check on Google. It's right there. You can't miss it. This okay, stops right.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Got it. Okay. I put my mic twice.
Nice.
So I was like, why am I seeing
yourself.
the same thing twice?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. That would have been bad. Or was it half there? You could.
I just don't want to kick it and it unplugs.
Oh. Nah, it should be fine. Today we have. Why you laugh?
I'm waiting.
Well, I know you as a fashion arc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what other people might know you as Ian.
Ayin.
Ayin?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was waiting for.
Somebody,
the pronunciation.
you know what it is? I met somebody and they said in.
Yeah.
So that's why I continue
I think
saying
I've
in.
reached to the point of.
I'm so sorry.
I've stopped correcting
You
people
just started
unless
B?
it's a call. Yeah.
Okay.
Ayin.
If someone calls and they say, "Hi, am I speaking to Ian?" I'll say, "No, Ayin speaking."
Okay.
So then they get it correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now I know. I apologize for that.
No
I've
problem.
just been informed from the public incorrectly.
Yeah. Okay, so now at least they will.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now you know Ayin.
Ayin, yes.
Yeah. Could probably you know, like when you go look up like something on Google, like how to say this word and it tells you.
But it'll come up with English pronunciation and it's Arabic, so you may not get
Okay.
correct pronunciation.
Okay.
You know the meaning?
As precious as the eye.
Good. The performance.
Are these your main glasses right now?
Yes.
Because I feel like you have these very fashionable, stylish glasses.
So I'm actually a brand ambassador for this brand that I'm wearing.
You didn't say the brand name?
Candy Woo.
That's what I said. What kind of brand ambassador is that?
And it's actually sold at my boutique as well.
So you just have the one pair, or do you have multiple?
I have 3 from her, and then I also have, she has lensless, but I won't use that because I'm super blind.
Lensless?
Yeah, so she does stylish glasses too. So
Okay.
like a regular frame, she would wrap fabric on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more for like fashion shows,
Right.
for photo shoots and stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay.
these have my tested lenses in them. I sell them with just the blue light, but then you could put in your own lenses.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask if you had multiple because I was like, this
Yeah.
is very hard to pair with.
Everything.
But then
But I
there's
like
just so
black
many
and
other
white,
things.
but I wear it with everything. But I
I mean,
have
it
a
will pop.
Yeah, I do have a green and tortoise, and then I have a pink.
Okay.
The
Are they
green
like
is the
bright?
most muted. No, the green is dark, a dark green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like tree leaf green or like.
Even darker, like
Oh,
moss
oh.
green.
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay.
with the tortoise shell.
Okay,
so
okay.
that one is the most muted, and then the pink is a little bright, pink and white.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to play a little game.
Okay.
We've never done this before. He doesn't know this. I just literally did
No.
it on my
Okay.
own time. It's called categories. He might know what it is. I don't know. I'm going to give you a category of things. It might be cars.
Okay.
I'm going to also give you 30 seconds. And you will tell me how many things you can name of the category in that time. So you will call a number, and then he'll be like, I think I could beat that.
Okay.
So you'll be like 4. And then he'll be like, I know 5.
Okay.
And then when you get to that limit,
Okay.
you have to call them out and be like,
I don't think he could.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's how you get a point. I just have 3 rounds. So I
There's
guess
these
first to 2.
categories that I
So
know
if
about.
if he calls 5 and you call him out on it and he doesn't name the 5, you get a point.
Okay, I get you.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
So it's the first to 2. Because I only have 3. So okay. Should I just give you like a general idea?
I think we got it.
Okay. I mean, like the question, do you want just the direct question or do you just want like a overall like
So it's
brands? And then I'll give you the question after you name me, like after you give me the numbers.
He lost
Oh, I
one with that
didn't-
one.
I didn't know that a question too.
Okay.
He didn't say that.
So, okay. The first one is places you can name beginning with an A.
As in.
Places.
Places.
It could be a city, it could be a country, it could be, I wouldn't really take like a restaurant or like food place, but I mean like a
Like an
A
abbey.
location.
Yeah, like a location.
Okay. Hmm.
I'm looking for my timer.
Nice.
You're not prepared.
I wasn't. This is the one thing I didn't have up. Okay,
And it said 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
So then I have to.
You
do
tell
I-
me
in
how
terms of
much
I
places.
think I
Yeah,
can
how much
name?
you think you could do? Oh, don't take too long now.
I know, but I was thinking, I'll just say 5.
5.
I think I could do a solid 7.
Okay. 7.
I think.
Do I hear 8?
Because I'm thinking of them while.
Mm-hmm.
Street names as well? Oh no, we're not going to.
Please, I'll take a street name.
Okay, I think I could do 8.
Okay. Take 8.
Eight, boy.
Take your time. Don't take too long.
Take your time, but don't take too long. The pressure.
I maybe could push 9.
Okay, we'll take 9.
Maybe.
I don't.
But
to be secure in
we could
yourself.
see if I let me see
So
if
then
I
if call
embarrass
him out,
myself.
what happens?
He doesn't know hustle is the 9. If he doesn't get the 9, you get a point.
Okay, big up.
All right. Ready?
You go ahead with your 9.
9 places. In
30
3,
seconds.
2, 1.
Anaheim, Arima, Aruka, Anna Street, Atlanta. Jeez, my brain. I'm spacing now. Antarctica, and Amsterdam. Jeez. La, 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 la. Just wait. It's right there.
Time. 1 point for Ayin.
Ayin.
Come on.
Wait.
Okay, the other one is food.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know why I wrote this one down, but different foods you could make with a potato. So, first person. I looked it up. The list was long. That's how I knew. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do all this.
I'll do 5.
Mm-hmm.
Safely.
5 for Ayin.
I'm thinking of others in the meantime.
I think it's always when you're in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking about it and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a list of 10.
I could do 7.
Okay, 7, show off.
Wait, is that?
I was at 6,
Yeah,
so let me
so-
see if I can do 8. Hold on, huh?
I could do 7.
Could we get copyrighted for that?
Probably.
For what?
Well, if it's singing good enough.
Oh, okay. All right, well.
I'll call him out again.
8? You said
Seven.
7. You said 7.
Seven,
Okay.
seven.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't win this one, then we have an extra one just for fun if you want. All right.
You know, I think I have it.
7 things you can make with a potato, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Baked potato, mashed potatoes, fries, gnocchi, hash browns, cottage pie, shepherd's pie,
Yeah?
potato pie.
Okay.
What is cottage pie? I'm a
Cottage pie
shepherd.
would be beef.
Cottage pie is beef.
Shepherd is with
It's lamb.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so what we call shepherd's pie
Yeah,
is
yeah.
really cottage pie.
Or even like a pot pie too.
No, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I was also thinking like wine and vodka.
Oh, I would have taken
Hey,
those.
I didn't think that.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
that was
like
on my
actual
list.
like
Yeah.
the potato that you
And
just.
the
I was just
potato
like,
skins
food.
and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Eating.
thought potato salad and everything. I was like, oh, we could do wine
I didn't even
and
think of
vodka.
potato salad. I was
Right.
like, yeah.
Yeah, it
That was my
had
second
potato
thing, potato
salad.
salad,
It
yeah.
had tater tots. Like I was just watching it. Was
Hash
like,
brown, yeah, I had hash browns on my
Yeah.
list, yeah.
So, yeah, well, 1-1. This is the one that
Redeem myself with that one.
Tiebreaker.
Okay. Next one is name starting with the letter D.
Name?
People's names.
People's names.
Oh,
Starting
no.
with the letter D. In 30 seconds, how many can you name?
7.
Big
30
numbers.
seconds.
Big numbers.
I'm moving from 5.
Mm-hmm. Is that distracted?
Kind of. Works for my advantage. Thinking of them names are real hard. How we getting
Yeah.
time?
I don't know. Yeah, 5 more seconds. You saw
I
it?
got
7?
7, yeah.
no, I
Wow.
can't do more than 7 right now.
Wow.
Okay.
So you're gonna give it to her?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. Because I can't think of 7 right
So
now.
if you don't get 7, I feel like 7 is
It's easy.
easy. Yeah.
Guess I don't really know that many people with
All right.
that's
Well,
a D in the name.
7?
yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
3, 2, 1, start.
DeAndre, Dion, Danica, Danique, Dahlia, Delia, Derek, Dexter, Dwayne.
Oh, wow. I actually have Robin's
Yeah,
names.
that was way too easy.
Yeah,
I
my
was
brain was like, yeah, Danielle, Daniela, David.
3.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
I know 7
Davido.
people named David, but
It have
that's still
Davida
David.
as well too.
I'm like, David. I'm like, why am I just thinking of David? What's next? I need some other ideas,
Did you
please.
see David recently?
Yeah,
Oh
him.
yes, that's true. Jabari David.
yeah.
That's
Same words.
why.
Yeah, I'm just saying like.
That's why I got stuck.
I'm just saying like. Who else other than David? I know like 7 people named David. Come on, I need some other name. But no, I was just stuck there. Anyways.
Well, you're the first winner of our games.
Thank you.
It won't be weekly. So, anybody expecting it again?
Not
It won't be
happening.
weekly. I guess you could describe to us like what is life like for Ian? Like I guess growing up
I'm
and
still saying my name wrong.
sorry,
Ayn.
it's because you know what it is. I've said it in my like that
It's
way for so
conditioned
long.
For so long, yeah.
Ayn.
I'm sure. Yeah. What is life like?
Yeah, like what was it like growing up? Like,
So I'm the younger of 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in Arimo.
like he said, yeah, Arimo.
Yeah, Arimo. So big up Arimo.
Nice, nice.
To
Yeah.
bring up the East. I was always an East person. So we moved from Arima to Trinity to Tunapuna now. Went to school in the East.
Did you give trouble? You look like a troublemaker.
I was wild. And then I think everybody got that on the report card. It speaks too much.
Yeah.
No.
So I got. You
I feel
didn't?
like all the creative people.
You didn't get that? I can see it though. But I didn't get that. Every term, every year, every school.
Yeah.
I'm stick to my corner and
Yeah. So I was the one because I wanted to be a teacher when I was younger. So I was the one holding class in the middle of class. Do it this way, do it my way.
Yeah.
That was me. So yeah. Talk too much was always a situation, always a thing. But then I realized teaching was a lot and that's changed. My parents were always involved in a lot of things around us, be it mass, be it pan, be it something cultural, creative.
right.
So as a child, my mom helped out with the carnival band that my primary school had.
Okay.
But I got the scraps. So I was the individual,
You got the what?
the scraps.
Ah.
So because they will cater to a certain amount based on payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then whatever remained, she will then make a costume for me.
Ooh.
So I was always different.
Also, you always had an individual costume.
I always had
every
an
year.
individual costume.
And things cost money, you know.
No,
20K.
exactly. When you think about it.
20K to even think about.
Minimum.
Right? And then you might have to know somebody to send in your picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't know what
What?
You
You
have
had
to
to-
send in your picture.
yeah, send in your
Sometimes some of these
picture.
bands,
to like play
they
in
need
these
to see
bands.
who you are before
Wow.
they can approve you for those types of things. Yeah.
Because they can't just take my money.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Yeah.
We need to see you,
Yeah.
Wow.
sadly.
I didn't know that was an actual thing.
Yeah.
So that guy that was complaining where we need to start screening people to get into carnival bands because
That
some
has
of the
been
people, that I see in,
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Because it has
Yeah.
happened. And
Right.
it is still happening. I'm calling no names, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it was that, and I guess always involved in music in some way through piano, through pan. I played with Exodus because we always had to be do something local, do
Yeah.
this, do that, do the other. I was actually first captain of the Exo Cubs, which is the junior band for Exodus.
Okay.
I actually did music. I learned to read and write music up to I think level 6 or 7 as a teenager.
Was it
What
highest?
was yeah, no,
I think it's
say,
8.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did
sorry.
6 or 7 in both.
Basically fluent in
I'm not
French.
going to say
And
manuscript.
yeah, so I could write and read music.
Right.
Played pan, as I said. It kind of stopped when I went to hotel school or TTHGI because
Everybody went TTH, bro.
yeah,
R.I.P.
because I know you
Did-
interviewed Richard.
Yeah.
I met Richard at hotel school.
Okay.
Richard's all of them.
Did
too.
you have the same experiences of your people having a fight? I need to know how common is this thing, you know? Like,
I think no, it was a little different for me too. But when I was there, because I would have had in secondary school, I did food and nutrition, and we actually had a site visit or like a what's called the thing when they jump on the bus, a school tour.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
To
I was
hotels.
like a site visit.
Yeah, that was like no.
I was like, I don't know what other
field
word
trip. It's
is
a field trip. That's
Yeah.
what
A site visit.
because that's what I do now. I do site visits.
Right.
So that what came to mind, and we went to hotel school, and it's like I think this is where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And when I got there, it was the largest because I started in culinary actually,
Okay.
and we were the largest class they ever had. We had 75 persons. So they had to split us into 3 groups. So it was always a lot happening with our class because of that. And it was just, I think the school was crazy. Everybody was crazy. So
Is that because everybody was so passionate about the work?
it was a mix of, and I
Oh,
think
were
at
they
that
just
time, no,
naturally
it was just
crazy?
hormones. I think everybody was just
Oh.
wild and happy to be out of secondary school or out of their parents'
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
because they have dorms down there. I
Yeah.
stayed down there only because my classes, I had 6:30 a.m. classes.
Eh?
Sometimes at 7. Yeah. It's 75 of us, so they had to
But that's
split
not
us.
how the
Alright.
culinary world kind of just
Kinda
normally works
with
anyway,
it,
right?
but
Yeah.
You have to get ready for breakfast.
Yeah. You gotta
The
be there
restaurants
So
from
it's
like
opening
5.
at 7.
At 7,
but
so you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to be
Yeah, the
there
prep
from, like,
before,
5,
right?
yeah.
So we were literally always in the first group because of my name. Even with the A or the E, I would always be in the first group of anything.
Yeah.
And living in the East, trying to get to school in Chagramas,
Not going to work
so I
out.
stayed on dorms, which made the most sense.
yeah.
But then, as I said, we were all teenagers at the time, so it was excitement, everybody out. And
Yeah.
around those times, we had a lot of clubs, and they getting into clubs free, so everybody partying and different
Yeah.
things. But a couple
Who
people,
will get into the clubs free?
UE, TTHJ, Costat, everybody,
Just like, oh, okay.
college students,
Okay. Why was...
because I wouldn't call it a college, but all right, cool.
Okay.
But we will take the freeness, so we used to go.
No, but they specifically said like...
Yeah, they used to call out sometimes on the radio, but actually hear what schools they will list out the schools. So we would go like to
okay.
base. I don't know, younger than me. Base Tsunami, which is now Rockback.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that is.
Yeah.
Rockback
Anchorage,
is where you... Oh my gosh, what is this sport?
Oh,
Dragon Boat.
Yeah, that's...
No, Rockback isn't further down. You
They're
talking about
both next to
Casters?
each other. Anchorage and Rockback is literally...
Yeah, next to each other.
Yeah,
and then
but-
Casters Cove used to be something back in the day as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
They do
that
Dragon
same
Boat there.
compound-ish area. It's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then well, base is opposite, just after Scallywag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never really did anything since that closed down.
Is that the big building that...
It's yellow now, I believe.
The
yeah, that
wooden
they
building.
renovated?
No, it's not. Well, I think so. So it's on the corner before you turn in to go to Macreep.
Okay, you said Scallywag. And
So it's a little
Macreep is a
after.
little...
Oh,
Scallywag.
after
So where the bridge is.
after CDA
Fair one.
post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that was
Okay.
big. So that was a big club back in the day. And
Right.
we go to nuts and stuff. But it was a fun time, I think, too. People did go in with the passion of becoming chefs.
Yeah.
And it was before, too, Food Network was just kind of blowing up.
Right.
So, because I taught at TTHI at one point as well, and I did see the difference in terms of Food Network then kind of training up people that everybody could become a chef
Yeah.
because of these shows. So the passion was
What
different.
about the Food Network?
You just whack it in there.
Yeah, so it
Throw
became
there.
more of they saw it as a way to become famous or to make
Yeah,
quick
it was
money.
glamorized.
While it was glamorized more than understanding becoming a chef how much work it entailed.
Right.
Because I did my 2 internships at the Prime Minister's residence.
Right.
And it was fun, but it was super hard. Because at the time, it would have been Honorable Patrick Manning, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We would have to then feed staff, and then he would have a lot of events at the
Yeah.
residence.
Yeah. And
Timing.
it's catering for hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And then, too, Mrs. Manning was on a strict diet because of what was going on. He was on one, too, but this is sneaky to ask for. He had his request.
And you
of
used to give
things.
it to him.
of
I just asking.
you're not gonna say no, but of things that he would want that is not on his list or his diet. So we actually as well to learn meal planning and stuff
Yeah.
because of them, and then what you have to do for the staff and the events. And it is also run by the regiment, so things are very strict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though all of the I don't know.
Sure.
Let's say, okay, the BS, that kind of old talk was always
Yeah.
happening because it's soldiers and Coast Guard, so you're going to get that.
Yeah.
But things were always very by the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the head chef was a soldier. People in the office, in the kitchen were either soldiers or Coast Guard.
Yeah.
So, but it was a lot of work, and because of doing that is why I think I switched after I finished my degree. I went into hospitality instead
Yeah.
because it's too much.
Yeah.
I know I couldn't hang.
Yeah.
It became a lot. I did also have respect for Chef Debbie Mettier. I think that was one of the only female chefs I knew in Trinidad at the time.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, I wanted to do it, but it just became like, nah, but this is real work. Too much hours. Not for me anymore.
You have any crazy stories that you can?
Yeah, that one party.
That you
yeah,
can
that one. Yeah, that
talk
that
about.
one party. That one party that is like, hey, that was
She
crazy.
She immediately knew. She was like, ah.
I'm wondering if I can talk about it. That's why.
That's why I was
But
like,
it was so
that you
long ago.
can talk
But
about.
then, it like something still like an event that was happening at the residence. I would just say, sitting. You see people on TV and you see them in Parliament and they're so esteemed,
Right.
But then you see them coming in and sneaking and stealing alcohol and stealing food while it's coming out of the oven.
Who was it that I spoke to?
And you can't do anything about it.
I was talking to somebody and I was kind of like, it's because you see somebody doing something for so long,
Yeah.
it's hard to picture them another way.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I see you suit up whole day, every day, Mr. Speaker, and you come and tell me you listen
Exactly.
to Young Brother, I'm like, eh?
Yeah.
You
Or
look
you
like
are the one, when you have an event and it's mostly politicians and you're working the event and the first one to dive into the pool is one of a top minister.
Yeah, I think they look forward to it because
But then they're human too, and that's the thing.
no, that's what the person they were like. You all need to remember that these people are just also human
They're
as well
human,
too.
But
Eh?
it's because we put
I
them
think
on
it's
this-
like
yeah.
because you have to be so strict so long. Because
It's
now
a-
that it's
becomes a shock.
only politicians
Yeah.
and nobody,
Yeah.
Social event. We let him
nobody's
loose.
gonna be like,
Social, being
Well,
as social as we
yeah,
possibly
yeah.
can be.
Ain, jump in the pool. Like nobody really gonna say anything.
Nobody will say anything.
Yeah.
Nobody might even believe you. So it's like, well,
Whatever.
I jump in the pool, so what?
Yeah.
But then if you see, he's passed away as well to like Pandy and getting on bad.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I don't pay it past them. It's just because you always see somebody like that.
You see them in one light all the time.
Yeah.
So when you see that and it's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It's like for me to even see you in home clothes is crazy.
I can understand that.
I'm
yeah,
like,
true.
oh,
You in the
I
grocery?
thought you would be in a
Yeah,
suit.
you're not
Oh.
grocery. You
This is so
have
strange.
on,
That's so
short
crazy.
Eh,
That's
and
weird.
slippers.
Because you like suit up. This is
Yeah,
not.
like where are your Oxfords? You're confused.
It's like I feel like I have to call the police. I feel like I'm being
Something is
harassed. I
Yeah.
don't like this.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was, in terms of that kind of life, it was a good experience, I would
Right.
say, going to the school, doing that. And then, as I said, I went back and I did hotel operations after. And from that, I was working part-time, which is now, I think it's Zanzibar. It used to be the bite back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So because I was working, I just used that as my internship.
Zanzibar.
Anyway. Chagramas, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's one down there.
There was one in Movietown, right?
Mm-hmm.
They closed. Or
I
they
think
still
so.
open?
I'm not sure.
No, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah, but I had a
Okay.
Zanzibar down there too.
Okay.
But it was the bite back in the day.
Okay.
Right.
I don't think I've ever been to that one.
Yeah.
I almost ended up at the one in Movietown, and I was like, I'll come and check them soon.
But it's not.
And I
then
went to
soon
check
never
them
happened.
soon.
Soon closed
and
down.
They were
They were
closed. It
closed,
was like the
yeah.
same year.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay.
But it was
this
not
is
like they want. That's like the regular American type food. The burgers, the fries. People eat the fries.
I mean,
quesadillas.
where doesn't sell burgers and fries?
Oh yeah, so it's nothing special to me in terms of those types of places. But at the time when I was working at the Bite, it was more needed a little extra cash, and then that, as I said, became my internship. And then from that, I just got into more of hospitality and consulting more.
Right.
And I
Is
think,
that because you saw the lady put 2 pieces of bacon with chana in between it?
oh gosh, no.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
The lady that tried to make doubles and it looked
Who,
like...
Wendy? Oh my gosh.
You don't remember this?
This was during COVID.
It was during COVID.
Uh-huh.
She was like, "Let me show you
I'll
how to
show
make
you how to
double."
make doubles.
And she put
And it was the worst doubles
it
ever
looked like 2 pieces of
created.
cake with chana in between.
And the channel, everything just looks so unflattering.
Oh, okay.
So I was asking if she left food because
But
of.
no, I left long before that. Long before that. But I've always had supportive parents in terms of anything that I wanted to do. So at least I had that, even from thinking of the culinary, moving into hotel operations, into the creative industry,
Yeah.
working and realizing working in a office is not for me and leaving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was always there because my background after my associates would have been more hospitality and tourism,
Okay.
but more to the point of tourism marketing, product development. So
Right.
like I worked with the Hotel Association, I worked with TDC, which is now TTL. I would have worked with nature seekers, that type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So community tourism and stuff is what I was doing back then. But I think I always knew I wanted to be in something cultural,
Yeah.
for want of a better word, and then I think the teaching still kind of came back into the 360 because of the consulting that I would do. Because I always wanted to teach, but it just kind of switched along the way. I
Right.
still do part-time teaching. As I said, I was teaching with teacher at the time, and now I do part-time event management.
Okay.
So that's the kind of mix of where I am and what I do.
At what point did you realize that you didn't want to be in office? Like, what happened?
My second job, well, I could say that wouldn't be my second proper job after my master's. I was at TDC, and I was a project officer at the time, and one of my supervisors, she was very lazy.
Yeah.
So we would do the work, and I think you see it all the time on some of these shows now. We would do the work, and then when it's time for the boss to ask a question, she will take up the folder that we would have done and go present.
Yeah.
And be like, this is what I did. It was never a we. And it was very annoying because she would sit all day and just be on Amazon watching things of what she could purchase.
Yeah, come on.
And
The
then come be
20th,
like, come
I
and
get
see.
paid on the 25th.
Come and see
Yeah, man.
this shoe you find, this is cool, and that kind of nonsense. But
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
to
she's
my colleague.
supervising.
Yeah, right? That's more my colleague because she realized from jump I was just not on her, so she would not engage with me in that type of nonsense because I would look at her with a straight face like, who are you talking to? Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So my colleague would always be the one, come see this, come see this, come see the other. And it was just frustrating, I think, realizing that you're doing work, and then it was work too that I enjoyed and wanted to do because we were helping people because they started to do community tourism projects. So you're actually seeing things happening
Yeah.
outside of us because we would have been the ones to kind of manage things at Maracas and Las Cuevas and stuff. I was glad for that because I'll be out of the office at least. I blacked out a day and yelled at her
Uh-huh.
while the board members were passing to go to a meeting. Yeah. So the next week, I left.
Oh, they didn't like
She's
fire
like-
you?
No.
She was like, again, in front of this.
Oh, wow.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna.
I actually, so that was my last office job. However, I did, because I was working, no, did it work that way? Yeah. Because I was doing the community stuff,
Yeah.
I reached out to one of the other program managers that started to build on their projects and asked them if they were looking for people. And at the time, they didn't start just yet, but someone that I knew from the industry, I reached out to her and asked her as well, do you by chance have any openings? And it just happened, it was around the time that situation was happening. And when that blackout happened, that same week I called them to find out, hey, do you have anything available? And they called me the next week to say, hey, come in for an interview. And I said, great. And that was kind of a bit remote, and it was a little more flexible.
Right.
So I did that. But yeah, I wasn't fired, thankfully. So I was able to leave.
I really thought they would have been like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she felt more embarrassed than anything.
mm.
So she didn't know what to do when it happened.
So
Yeah,
I'll just
because
leave
probably
it.
nobody ever really spoke up to her.
No.
So it's like,
And,
oh,
and the GM
y'all
wasn't
could talk
there.
back.
And I think I went to the GM to say something after when they told me what happened because I literally blacked out. I don't know what I said to her, but I knew I was yelling. And as I said,
I would pay good money for that footage.
And the thing is, too, it's only because the board members were passing as well. A lot of my colleagues after came and they were like, are you okay? Because, like,
And you there like,
passing.
what
And I was
happened?
like, what are you talking about?
Jeez.
That day I picked up and
What?
left. I went home immediately. But I went back to work the next day. I never apologized to her because why? But
She said, I stood on business and I'm
yeah,
continuing
and I
to
said,
stand on
I
it.
know.
Why is your hoodie like this?
Because it's hot and cool at the same time.
Okay.
the lights and the
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just but I went to the general manager and I kind of explained what was going on, and she understood because I guess too she was kind of smelling the BS as well too
Yeah.
with what was happening, and she just like I told her, I said I'm not too sure how long I might still have here, but just letting you know this is what's going on, and then the next week I left, and I did 2 years somewhere else, 2 years at my last job, and then I started doing what I do now full time. The last job they were running out of money, poor management. So the last 6 months that I worked there, we had to take no pay leave every week. Yeah.
What?
Every month. 1 week every month.
Oh.
For 6
Okay.
months. So you're working for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I took that week to start to build out my business.
Right.
So, yeah. And then I think it was the week with Independence, I sent in my resignation.
Right.
And then I started my business full time.
And then after you left, they were like, actually, guys, we got some new funding.
They never did.
Oh, okay.
They even lost where they were working. They had to all work remotely.
Oh.
They lost the building, everything too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
So you want to tell us about
So the first thing was Fashion Arc.
fashion? Yeah.
Yeah, so the fashion arch is in terms of
Fashion
it's-
Arch. I
Arch,
don't know
yeah.
why I say.
So the arch, think of like connections.
Arch.
Because too, with all of the different jobs that I would have had and the connections that I would have made, I was able then to kind of connect people based on if they're building out their business. They're trying to find possibly a retailer, production person, somebody in marketing, somebody in accounting. I could be that person for them. And then I would have done a fashion event or a fashion markets with some colleagues called, the name of the event was Racked.
Yes, I know of Racked.
Right. So that was...
Was that thrifted things? No.
No.
Am I tripping? I know the name.
It might have been eventually when after I left.
Okay.
But it was, so we had up markets back in the day. So it was between 2012 and 14.
It's Racked TT, right?
Mm-hmm. It might have changed just to thrift at some point.
Racked by Rocket.
No.
You follow them?
No.
So what is this?
I don't know. I don't follow Racked, so I can't tell.
You follow Racked by Rocket.
I do?
Something in Barbados.
Oh, yes. That's another thing. That's thrifted, yes. It's not the
Okay.
same thing.
All right.
I'm not- yes,
I
it's not
think
the
I
same
know the
thing.
Racked that you're talking about. I
Yeah.
just
So
don't
it
know
was
their
Racked
name
and
right
the
now.
A was pink, was to signify a hanger.
Yeah. Yes.
Right,
Yes.
Yeah. So because back in the day, it had a lot of food and craft markets, upmarket being the biggest one at the time. Not as much pop-ups that you see now. It was not like that how every weekend you will see something.
Which is wild, right?
It's oversaturated, but not my business. A colleague and myself, because at the time too, when I didn't start the fashion art yet, but I had a lot of access and friends to a lot of local designers, either up and coming, trying their own thing, like Kristen Bukuri and all of those people. I would know them, and I would be able to wear their pieces pretty easily because I would know them. And
Yeah.
access for me was easy, but for a lot of others it was hard. And then kind of being in front of the eyes, like mailing on people like that too, we decided that, okay, we have the craft markets, we have the food markets, there's no fashion markets. So let's start something that's 100% local, 100% fashion.
Right.
So that's where the Racked was born. Did that for 2 years, and even while doing that, I realized a lot of the brands, amazing work.
Don't know how to business.
That's where the fashion art was born.
Right.
That gap was there. They didn't even know sometimes how to present themselves, how to speak to persons. You would see them, they would put their rack up and then they'll pull out a book and start reading.
It's like, hey, you engage.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't have that, but they could, their presentation sometimes or their work was amazing. It still
Yeah.
is amazing, but they didn't have that business acumen, understanding operations, as I said, quality control, some of those things was lacking.
Yeah.
So from that, I started to kind of build out what the fashion art could look like, and also to the point of thinking of representation. Because one of my first clients, while I was still working, after I left Nature Seekers and went to my last job, which was the final working for someone kind of thing.
The last straw.
Yeah, the last straw for real. But it still, as I said, it worked to my advantage where I had the 1 week for those 6 months to build out, and I got a mentor and I figured things out. I worked with Bene Carib, Abby, because she's not in Trinidad.
Yeah.
She always needed representation for her brand. So I worked with her in terms of building out the brand avatar, helping her to get in terms of funding. I will be the representation person, that person that they will come to. I'll be the rep. I could speak about Brenda Carib. I will help when she has to do photo shoots. I will do the press releases because I also worked in communications. So I had the connection as it pertains to media. So I would get the interviews for them, all those types of things. So the fashion that was kind of born out of that, with Abby being one of my first clients, and then SM Warner, Sheldon Warner. He does like hand painted pieces. He was like my second client while I was still working, and then it moved into the full-time situation.
Okay.
From that, because too, I kind of stopped with Ract, I still did my own pop-ups. So I've been doing that for almost 7 years on my own.
Yeah.
They would have been themed. So Christmas, Easter, sometimes Mother's Day. I did like 2 for Father's Day men's pop-ups, actually just having men's items in the space.
Yeah, which is hard to get.
Hard to get. So that was a big thing. One, though, I didn't really check the calendar because it had a Euro final on one of the pop-ups. But it was at 51 and they don't have screens. So it didn't really work out. But I did get people coming in. But
there's so many events to keep up with. There's like you're trying to plan your own event and you want it to be this big thing, but then also it's like
everything else that's happening. So if I was at least
like I'm not into sports.
I really didn't know. And then if there were screens, people would have come.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to take in the game, people
to
would
take
have
on the
been
game,
around.
and then they will possibly look around and realize, wait, these things are for me. You know?
Yeah.
So I did the men's pop-up and then Christmas. So I've been doing that mostly. It was at 51 when 51 was around, which is now I think is Vice. Yeah.
51.
Upstairs Town.
Yeah, upstairs town. Right.
I did at least 2 to 3 years.
I didn't
of
even know they
pop-ups
renamed to Vice.
there. Yeah, it's a new.
I just
new
know
owners,
that's
everything.
I know that was 51, so that's what I was like.
I think a couple months ago.
Oh, okay, well then.
Yeah. So I would have done it there. I did it at a couple of restaurants, and COVID hit. 0 business, 0 clients, 0 nothing.
Yeah.
But before that, I was helping, as I said, it worked out where I will do a lot of representation, not just in terms of brands in Trinidad, but I will become that liaison regionally and internationally. So I would carry products to New York, to DC, spoke in Suriname, did things in Jamaica, all of these things. Either through runway, helping with runway for the brands, or possibly their pop-up and trade show events.
Right.
And then I built up my clientele by going to all of these events.
Yeah.
So I then got clients across these areas, so
How do
across
you-
the region.
How do you get into these events? It's like yes, you
literally
have,
just
buy a ticket or
No, I
just
used to
get a
Instagram.
link?
Honestly, Instagram stalk people.
and then what?
Like
Message
the
them?
organizers?
Hey, yeah, the organizers. Hi, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I realize you don't have people from Trinidad or the Caribbean in your space, or not as much as you may need. I
I
have
think this might be
access
good for
to.
you.
This is what I can offer you.
Okay, and then they would just email you.
Sure, send me what you have, and they will either pay for me to come, pay for my accommodation, or something.
Jeez.
I was gonna say, how does that work? Because I'm just like,
That's literally, especially for Jamaica. And I did Jamaica for 5 years.
right.
And it was too because I saw someone else was doing it in Trinidad, and they flopped. And I was like, oh, I can do that too, and I can do it better.
Yeah.
For 5 years. And then I still have a relationship with that company. I've done it in Suriname to the point of I went across there to do a branding workshop, as well as I had to represent some brands that couldn't make it to the event. So on this side, in terms of how it helps the creatives here, is to show that you just have to pay a registration fee. I will do everything else. You don't have to worry about a flight accommodation because I am going.
Yeah.
Hey.
They might have to pay possibly shipping fees because I might have to do extra luggage or something like that.
Yeah.
$30 as compared to 300, 400 US,
Yeah.
So that's what I would have done for Suriname, for DC. Same thing for DC. I would have actually, for that one though, if the first one, a brand they were doing some cultural awards, and the brand that was supposed to be selected, they didn't get their visa in time. And I was working with them already. So they asked if I would be their rep. So when I got there, I spoke to the organizer and be like, hi, I introduced myself. Okay. I introduced myself and said,
It literally was
Right.
blasting sun just now.
right, exactly. It was super hot. And I told them what I did, and they invited me back to do a workshop with some of their emerging brands that came there. And then from that, I again got more clients where I would help them build out their brands, build out their business plans, that type of thing. So I did that for like 3 years in DC. Now I still work with a company in New York where I represent brands out there. So I do that. And then with COVID, what happened? I had to then move my pop-ups online.
Okay.
Right.
So I would have done virtual pop-ups. So
How does that look like?
of course now, a pop-up will normally be 5-6 hours. You have to
Yeah.
remember people are online. Nobody's going to be online for 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
So
So is it
what-
like you're slowing a slideshow? Okay, item number 5.
I
Here we go.
thought that, and I was like, that's crazy. I would
like
have
an
never watched that.
Auction, right?
Sounds like an
It's
auction.
an auction, but I said no. What we will do, we will do Zoom or we'll use one of those platforms.
Right.
Max 10 brands.
Okay.
5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Speak about your brand, show me some of your products.
Okay.
And then we have an audience tuning in.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
I
did
don't
that.
know. I don't know how that.
Yeah. So I did
Okay. All right, folks. Here we go.
that. And
We
then I
are-
had my admin assistant at the time.
Right.
All the payment details will be in the chat while they're showing. So you can literally purchase immediately.
Oh, okay.
I did that for myself at least 3 times. I did it for Emancipation Support Committee. I did it for Caribbean Export.
Wait, repeat the payment stuff one time. So they're showing it off.
So you have your pieces.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
The
showing it
admin-
off.
I'm showing it off. You see a full rack, but
Yeah.
you do not have it's 7 minutes. Even though that can be long, maybe sometimes 10.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they will show off their top sellers or what they want to push.
Okay.
But a customer can also be like, oh, what's that red thing in the back there? Can I see it? And if there's time, they can bring that forward.
Okay.
And they show the pieces, they
So
show the
this
details.
is my bottle.
Yeah, so this is what I have.
Right.
Mhm.
All the
And I want that
details.
one.
And then someone in the chat, I would signal them, make sure to put in the information and let people know, hey, check out the chat. Either you'll get bank transfer, PayPal information, shipping information is right there. You click on that and you can purchase.
But if I want that and he also wants that.
If we only have one, if not, we can do custom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if there's ever a case where it's like, oh, we got 2 payments for 1 cup.
Yeah, she actually, and it was for mugs too. Greta Michelle actually got that, and then she's like, no problem. Based on the time, and because it was a Christmas time, she's like, I can get it done for you in time that you can still get it as a gift.
Okay.
Mm,
All right.
nice.
Well.
Yeah. But of course, when we pushing these things because it's slow fashion, because it's sustainable, most times it's one-offs. But
Yeah.
then the custom work can be done too.
Yeah.
So as I said, I did it for myself, and because of that, I was able to then pitch to Emancipation Village, so they still had something that they could have done during the time because they couldn't have their big village in the Savannah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were on lockdown, and then Caribbean Export needed something, and I did it regionally as well. So we got people from all over the world to come in and see people from Suriname, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, all that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
What were some of like the teething issues when it comes to planning something like that, especially during COVID, where it's like, I don't know how to figure this one out, but we
Yeah,
go
it
wing
took
it.
a while because I did think about the pictures first, doing
Yeah.
the slideshows, but it's like, that's not, I want
Interactive,
it's
it's not fun.
interactive.
Yeah.
So I thought about it initially, but what
Mhm.
I did say for some persons, because I think a brand from Jamaica still did a small presentation,
Yeah.
and then she showed her pieces.
Okay.
So she showed some of her custom work.
Okay.
Okay.
And then showed this is what I have currently available. So it was like thinking of that again, how long the event would be too, because as I say, you don't want to lose people. I
Yeah.
literally had to identify DJ Honey Colado,
No.
Melanie Jones. I had like a interlude, and she was a DJ. I saw the DJ in the middle of the program as well.
Okay.
So it's background music, and
Yeah.
in between while people were interacting, or possibly if they were doing their orders or trying to speak to brands, she
Yeah.
was there playing music at home.
Okay.
So we had that going on. The first one, however, was a disaster. But it wasn't a disaster because nobody knew what was happening.
Yeah.
Similarly to the same thing I was saying, like, even though a restaurant opens whatever time, you can't get there when your restaurant opens.
Yeah.
So I would have done a test with everyone beforehand. So that's something we had to do as well. Make sure your audio is good. Make sure your lighting is good. Make sure we can see you. So some people had to actually find somewhere else to do their things because
Right.
either the room was too dark or the baby might be crying all night, whatever it might be. Also to decide on the time, it was always evenings,
Right.
evening into night.
Right.
The first one I did, I would usually try to come on at least half an hour before. We had no power. So I had to pack up,
Because of course.
call my cousin, see if she was home. She wasn't home. Call another cousin to see if she was home. She was home. To go by her.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
had to leave where I was. Take my whole setup with me because I do like a little branding and stuff, have a sign, and then
Yeah.
at the time 2 had pieces.
Yeah.
So I had to pick up all my things and then go by her and then figure out if the lighting was good and everything to set up and sweat because my room had AC. Her living room didn't.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had to like literally pack up everything in 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and start over somewhere else.
Right.
And that was the first one. So I honestly didn't want to do any after that because like this is a disaster. But nobody knew what was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't know. But it worked out. I I remember too, it had like some type of bug, because I remember when I had a picture of, somebody took a picture and there was bug spray right next to me. I don't know if it was mosquitoes or something had happened just before we were about to start, and I had to spray. But it was roaches, something
And
was
just threw it right there.
So it was just right there. It's like, why is there bug spray in my picture? And then I remembered, so anything that could go wrong was happening. The neighbor in between, I had to keep muting myself because he was washing his car. And then he had
In the
water.
night?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just hearing water splashing in the back. And then kind of things I have to keep muting myself. And like when somebody's talking, I'm just nodding, but my mic isn't on.
Yeah.
Because all of these things that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah.
But he made it work.
You know, it's like somebody talking and they get to the best bits and then just hear the
Yeah, that's literally what's happening.
So guys, if you really want to buy this thing, it's selling for
And then you can't hear me because it's
what?
water in the
How much?
background.
What did you say? What?
Yeah, that was happening. It was a lot of
you,
that.
you were cutting out. Can you
Repeat.
repeat
that?
that one more time?
And
I said-
somebody too, I think it was either Jamaica or
Neighbor.
Barbados. They were living close to like a main road. So you know, like the maxi horn. That was going on throughout the entire presentation. So they had to type afterwards. It's like, sorry guys, I'll have to put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was all that too, and I even figured out how to charge people for something like this, because I do charge the vendors similarly too if they will take a table space.
Yeah.
Because it is advertising for them, it is the awareness for them
Yeah.
too, you know?
It in all production.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot to kind of put together, and then of course the promotion of that as well. And as I said too, because of COVID, I also had to figure out things that I could do, because I no longer had any clients, because the creative industry, as with like food and beverage, kind of shut down.
Right.
Nothing was happening. So I started my own lifestyle brand.
Mm-hmm.
It started initially with kimonos or throws. So like for persons who work in an office but just starting back to work, you're not going to put on your full Tetrix polyester suit to sit at home for a meeting. But they could throw on a kimono over, like if I had on a vest or a tank or whatever, and still look a little presentable.
Yeah.
Right.
So it started with that, and then I would have done like little cotton breathable tops that were a little stylish, that you could throw on. You could have it on all day, so when it's time to put on your camera, at least you're looking presentable.
Yeah.
It started with that, and then when we got into the point of opening back up, like little maxi dresses, shirt dresses, so things that you could still wear to the office with either a pants or a jacket, but then you can take it off or switch it up, style it up, that you can go into something in the evening with, or for like networking and stuff like that. So I still do that, and then now I have the boutique, which was kind of the end goal that I was looking at when I was doing pop-ups. Because the thing for the pop-ups is that it's giving the brands the access that they might not have had, or the awareness to that public. The public didn't know about some of these products or some of these brands, giving them that access now in a permanent space. So the space now has at least 30 brands, local and regional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's been a year and about 4 months.
And you still rep them to go and
Yeah, for events and stuff. I'm actually just now planning for Christmas, because the last event I would have done would have been Caribbean American Heritage Month, which is June in New York.
Okay.
So I would have gone to a 2-day event at Chelsea Market and carried about 12 brands.
So you go there with their clothes,
Clothes,
I guess,
accessories.
at the table and everything, and you are you selling it for them? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so I represent the brand, so I can speak to the brand, speak about what they do, their methods, their materials, and I promote and sell. And if I can't do it, I would have trusted people there with me, or send them
Okay.
to do it for me.
Do you also do like, I guess, help to get them in stores and stuff?
Yeah.
Or is that all?
So sales like that, the sales representation side of things, yes. Because I've done that for persons in Barbados. I've done it Jamaica, and then still working on things for New York.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now, because of my store, people, if I've represented them somewhere and they're interested in having a space in Trinidad, if they're not from here, that can also happen.
Okay. Why is sustainable fashion, I guess, so important to you?
Because in anything that we do, we are seeing what's happening now with the world. Climate change is real, even though we know people still somehow don't think it is.
Yeah.
Hey, the place real hot. You see that whole climate activism I'm saying about? This
But the
Babylon
place
thing.
real hot.
Yeah.
Babylon
Right?
thing.
No problem. And
Yeah.
then the rain comes down, and then it's flooding everywhere.
Is the government? How you mean?
Yeah, they mashing up the place. All the holes in the place and all the bottles that we are throwing in the drains is the government, right? Nobody else. But sustainable fashion, when you think about slow fashion, you think about even the processes behind it, because I actually just did a presentation on that. And we speak not just to overconsumption, but also what fast fashion is doing to the world. It's harming in any which way possible, through the water, through the air, through bad wages, poor labor support as well too. Because some of these places still have children, they still have child labor.
Mm-hmm.
Why is a child inside of there picking up buttons
Yeah.
for cents on the dollar, that type of thing, or no money at all, or maybe something small to get for their family on a daily basis? The emissions of some of these factories itself, or even to the point of when we think of just Amazon back and forth, flying,
Yeah.
the carbon footprint. I know we're all guilty of
I
it.
know, I'm
Let's
like,
like, yeah, boy,
I just-
right now my cart full.
I just got something the other day,
But even though you see,
but I needed them.
Uh,
You know what? No, I
what
didn't.
does he need?
It
What
wasn't.
does he need?
It was boxing gloves and shin pads.
It's not so locally.
It is. It was doubly priced. And I was like, I would prefer to save money. That was it.
But then what's it doing to the environment?
I know. Because the shipment was already made to come here, but I was just like literally the kit cost like $700.
Here or away?
On Amazon. This is like after I cleared
700
it.
TT?
700 TT.
And how much
After I
is it
cleared
here?
it. The gloves alone was 500. I was like, yeah, no.
What's the kit? What else is in the kit?
There's shin pads. So when you're doing kickboxing, it's to
Okay.
protect this, which I need.
I know, yeah, I understand.
So I was like,
So how much shin pads here?
I be honest, I did not look it up. I was just
The
like,
500 is 20 off.
that 500 turned me off.
But even with that, what we are seeing now that Amazon at least is, they're trying to consolidate things, and this box is made of
I ain't gonna lie to you.
recyclable material nonsense.
Every time I see the option, I be skipping it
What?
because
So Jabari is a part
no,
of the
I
problem,
know, but you
guys.
see, I don't wanna lie.
He is a part
I don't
of the
wanna,
problem.
I don't wanna lie to people too, you know,
Why though?
because it takes so
It
much longer.
It's literally 2 days. It literally says, because I see it. It says 1 to 3 days more.
no.
You see how this microwave life we live?
So
Everything is
you know,
needed instantly. No, for real.
no, it's okay. It's
Even though they say,
probably not
honestly,
funny, but this is how it happened in my head.
in your brain you're thinking, oh my God, I need this right now.
It wasn't even that.
But it's normally 1 to 3 days, and you
it
know this,
probably
right?
was that.
And it's normally the next day when you will.
But I went on the order. Let me say it takes like a week. You know, like let me
Right.
say the
5
thing
to
would have been
7.
a week and 3 days. Well,
Right.
Right.
so I'm like, okay, I could get free shipping.
For
Yeah.
next day
No.
thing.
Free shipping. I don't have Prime.
Okay.
Right.
I don't prime you with that, but in between it's always Amazon Day or some kind of day coming up.
Randomly they'll give me that, but
Okay.
not
yeah,
not this time.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, we can ship it out by next week for free.
Cool.
Or
$3.
you can save the planet and still get free shipping
I'm gonna get in it.
and get 3 days later. And I'm like, if the shipping free, I'm gonna take it sooner. So that's what happened. I wasn't like,
But you still got any free shipping. It's
You
just,
went like, the planet needs this. I'm gonna make this decision.
no, I'm so sorry.
mess.
I'll be more mindful now.
I think you should.
Since we've spoken about this, I will.
Yeah, it's honestly it's little things, even
Okay.
to the point of, so we know,
I-
as I said, people always think about it, just the emissions out of factories, but those things too, when you think about how many times these places, WebSource and all of these other companies,
Yeah.
the back and forth and the flying and the different things, how does that
Yeah.
look, the carbon footprint in terms of coming from Miami to here, basically how many times for the day? That's just one side of it.
Yeah.
Even to the point of sometimes these polyester, the materials that we use, how often we wash them as well too. The plastics and the different things, they have microplastics in the material that we
Yeah.
wear. I would say, but this is thrifted, so I would still, this would get another use. It's already gotten one use
Yeah.
because this was someone else's before. And now, so for me, I mostly wear either thrifted or local or regional,
Okay.
unless it's jeans. Nobody really making jeans just yet.
Yeah.
All right. And then even with that, even how often you wash your jeans and stuff too, because then the dyes are coming out into the water.
Right.
The microplastics are coming out into the water, and then that then damages
The environment.
the environment.
Yeah.
Similarly to with all these fast fashion things and the landfills that they are now filling up because they are overproducing. They never really report how much they produce.
Yeah. You know, I saw like this. I don't even know what to call it, a documentary. It was just some random YouTube video I saw on like how Shein
It's
works.
still count as a documentary. I would say so.
And it was just
Okay,
talking
fine.
about
A documentary style video. How about that?
a documentary style video on how Shein works, and it was like, based on how people search up things, and like,
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean one person ordering it and they just might make the one?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Just the one.
that's not making sense.
That makes no sense.
I was like, you're not looking for like a minimum order?
No.
Like, no. And they have like AI stuff.
Because
Literally just
I get
pumping out designs, and it's just like,
immediately because
This is-
I've never shopped on Shein and I've never went on the site, but because of your searches and different things that we do, my Chrome, I get notifications of certain styles that I would have seen because of like, a For You
Right.
page on
Yeah.
Instagram. I might see something once or twice and then that style again pops up over and over, and then all of a sudden Shein is showing me the same thing too. So I
Yeah.
then have to block these things. But that's what's going on. And then, as I said, there's an overconsumption and there's like a need that we need to have this. We have an event tomorrow. We
yeah,
can't
that
shop
catches
our
people
closet
a lot.
anymore.
Be like, I am a fresh kit ready
Yeah.
for the event tomorrow. And I'm
For
like,
tomorrow.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
But
I
we
used to
have
do
that
that.
a lot right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
no, people do that a lot.
Plenty. Yeah, I have a friend that she always
That
used to
is
do
literally why parties are so expensive. Like, they literally calculate for a whole new outfit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, if I go,
Because you have to
10
study,
parties
especially
for the year.
And then for women, too, it's more money because they can nails, makeup, shoes, accessories, plus the clothes. And then you still have to get the tickets. And then if it's a ride share, however, and then if it's not all inclusive, you have to get either your drinks or whatever. It's a lot. But, and even outside of that, as it pertains to slow fashion, I think that's where I'm saying the creativity of the youth and us comes into play, where we can then either shop our closets, find ways to reuse or regenerate what we have and make it something else.
yeah.
Or learn to then either make your own clothes, help somebody else to make their own clothes,
Yeah.
either make your own accessories, something that that becomes yours. And then we don't also have that when you go into a space, everybody's looking the same because we all
Yeah.
purchased from the same store.
Yeah.
That as well too. My friend that has happened to her a lot. I remember when we used to go parties much more, like back in the day when we would party more often. She would always shop. She's one of those. She has to get a new outfit every time we go out. I never understood it, but alright, cool. That's your business.
It's all legal right.
Yeah. But then when they reach any party, 3 other girls in the outfit and they're vexed for the entire day.
Yeah.
Because they went on shopping Cache or whatever else and everybody shopping at Cache. So it happens because again, when they sell things, it's not one of with three sizes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
4 outside and 10 in the back that they could bring out when they force out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the last one or no?
Does he exactly. They like to say that, but that's not true.
I gotta check in the back.
And then they'll not have none, or they'll be like, oh, you're real lucky.
No, I hit them with
Sure, thanks.
I'll check it tomorrow.
And
then you
never
never
come
go
back.
tomorrow.
And just never come back.
That's really the best one.
Yeah, but it's just people that get to, and then because we have so many events in Trinidad and then the overconsumption is there,
Yeah.
it's where you would see people always think that they need to have something to go to these events, and then social media made it worse.
Yeah, because if I'm always going out to a party,
And I have a
eventually I'm just
picture.
going to run out through all my outfits.
Yeah.
So
Use
I
them
need to get
again,
more
it's yours.
Yeah. Nah, I need to look fresh.
You can look fresh, you can make it, switch it up.
Nah, so much outfits I have. I mean, I always wear this jersey though. So I me
Yeah.
vex.
People must be fed up seeing me, that's why I don't care, it's mine.
Yeah.
And
Some people like to look fresh.
Switch things up though, it have other ways to look fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what are some key things that you would say people, from working with clients, what are some key things that you see that they overlook when building their fashion brand?
One thing I think, especially for some of the younger ones, even I guess older ones too, they always think that they can cater to everyone.
Right.
They may not know who their audience is, and when you ask them to, they do say everyone. I was like, we're starting off bad. So they need to kind of hone in on who their client might be or who their customer is, understanding that initially.
No, but I feel like everybody should just like my work.
Well, that's how some of them are.
I will be the difficult client.
Yeah, don't worry, I've had it. So I understand. And it's like, because mommy and daddy and cousins said it's good doesn't mean somebody else would.
I appreciate that.
So you
That's what Tiffany said. Not because your friend could kind of cook.
Yeah.
They should open up
Open
a
a
restaurant. No.
kind of cook. You like their food, nobody else.
Yeah.
Never tasted
No,
their
this
stuff.
one plate of food, lashing dog.
Food
You are
truck
a
for
chef.
you.
Yep.
Food job. Come on. Ghost
No.
kitchen.
Do it 100 times every day for the next 15 years.
Oh, not even about it. That's 100 times a month.
That's
They'll
true.
cry.
And if it pumping, do it for a
Double.
day.
Yeah. They will not be on the ground in a bowl.
Yeah,
Because
it's like,
that's not, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they go in sometimes and they say without a plan. They just know that they have a talent or they have a hobby or something that they're good at and want to then make it into a business, not understanding all of the facets of having a business.
right.
They sometimes get into it too, thinking if I start today, whatever the date is of September, by December, I'm supposed to make back my investment. Or by December, I'm supposed to be popping that money is being made.
Yeah.
There's no process, there's no time. They don't think about it. It's like, I just want to make money. It's a hustle mentality. They're not thinking about business.
Yeah, but that guy on TikTok said,
Yeah. Social media, TikTok in particular.
he said 6 months.
Yo.
What do you mean?
TikTok.
Turn my $0 business into a
It's a
six-figure business.
Six-figure business.
In 6 months.
Nonsense. No, but then, honestly, that's what it is. It's now, again, you say microwave mentality. You want to get things now.
Yeah.
We need it now. We need to have it now. I've had clients say to me too when we say, like, okay, we're going to sit and work out this plan. I don't think we should do this collection right now. We still have pieces that we're still trying to figure out and they're not moving. Let's not move on to the other thing. Oh, but I just want to make money. Bruh, let's start over. You start again and you go with it. So I think sometimes they don't think about the whole process and what that looks like and then how they can put that, take it from paper and then actually work on it.
Yeah.
Is another thing. Everybody thinks that once we are on social media now, that's it. And because TikTok is making us famous, we just need TikTok.
Yeah, I went
They don't-
viral once.
Okay, and what I'm saying now?
Wow. Why y'all talking to me like that?
That's why. Chop liver.
Jeez.
Dang.
What happened after?
I said it as a joke, but I didn't.
Now you think
No, but
about
that's
it.
basically
No,
what it
thank
is. You get viral once and then what?
I could go viral again.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I feel like some people think like that though. Like,
No,
well, I did it
people-
once, so
people-
I could.
So it can happen again.
Yeah.
And then though, if you go viral, especially if you're producing for yourself and you have nobody else making stuff, it's just you sitting on either stitching, sewing, sticking, whatever it is, and you go viral and you have 100 orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that happened to the lady that made the Beyonce cowboy hat.
Serious?
I think so.
I don't
I think
know.
she got like I think it was a lady,
She was burnt out or something.
and they got very overwhelmed because it's like
She couldn't.
Yeah,
I
because
can't meet this
it was-
demand.
it
Yeah,
was
you
5
can't meet
orders
the
a week,
demand.
not with 5 a minute.
Wow. And it's she alone. That person alone, right?
I
He or
think they were alone at the time.
You
I
see,
don't know if
then
they had to get help
eventually you
or
had to find help. But
Yeah.
then what happens? Say quality.
yeah. Everybody wants to be like big and famous, but I don't think people really realize
They don't think about it. People also
I think
too
it's better to ease into
ease
it and
into it,
build
and then
up.
you have to work out your processes,
Yeah.
and people don't understand that because they have people to, oh, I want to do the fashion show. Cool, we can do the fashion show. But then the
But
fashion shows
the
that I will get,
outcome
would I get you into these fashion shows, or we get the PR that you need, and we get the retailers coming in.
Can you scale? Yeah.
I have orders still on back, and I was looking at this the other day from 2018 that this person that I was working with at the time could never fulfill.
Mm.
But that's what you wanted. I helped you
Yeah.
to that point, but then you didn't think about what's going to happen next. When they ask you, okay, can I at least get, you can't do 500, give me 150. And I need it in 3 months. And you still can't do that 150 in 3 months. They're not going to take you on, and then they're not going to take you seriously either.
Yeah.
So we can do the fashion. That's another thing too. Is when you know sometimes I do fashion shows in terms of helping out or having clients that work in fashion shows, because I never saw, especially in Trinidad, the importance, not the importance, the need of a fashion show besides the entertainment factor.
Okay.
Same.
It should be a business. It's part of the business model. What
Right.
comes out of it?
Yeah.
We show a new collection. We either then show this collection will be available here. Are we doing custom? Do we have a pop-up on right here? Are these pieces going to Miss World or retail space? What is happening next?
Yeah.
It can't be we saw the pieces, clap, clap, clap. We drink some wine, have some cheese, and some other sponsors there, and we
Yeah.
go home. Oh my God, that was such a great night.
Yeah.
Crickets right after. So they don't think about that either.
Mhm.
So that's why sometimes I don't attend fashion shows, because
Yeah.
it can be a part of your business model, but you have to make it make sense. So that's the next thing too, and a lot of them want to do that. I want to get into this fashion show. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Not understanding what's
Yeah.
next. Can't be social media alone and they're not having a website.
I
How
think it
people
makes more
contacting
sense
you?
internationally, right? Because buyers are actually there,
Buyers, yeah. And that's the thing, but then...
and then
so
they
if-
want that 300 pieces, and
and they have a
And they
deadline and a
want it
deadline.
next week.
They have a deadline. Or even if the buyers aren't there, they send their reps or they send PR. So it could also be too that it could be a PR person or somebody like for an artist, a musician that may want you to then dress.
Yeah.
So then you have to do custom, or you might have to edit the pieces to this person. So it's also thinking about that too. You made the dress this way, or you made the suit this way. How can it fit this person that they wanted to, and they need it for an event next week?
Yeah.
And then they may hire you for the next 3 months, but that means you still have to keep churning out new pieces or editing what you have to fit their style.
Yeah.
They're flying 3 retailers and they need 20 pieces each in 2 weeks. Can you do that? Can you negotiate? And then even then too, you go to the show, you get back home, all your customers are in New York. How do they then buy from you? You're giving them a first citizen bank account information.
Yeah.
They're watching it like, what is this? Is this first American? What is this? They don't know. There's no link to show them. You don't even have an invoice to show them. You have no e-commerce. There's no website. They don't think about all of these things. Or sometimes people, some of these creatives do. I can make this or I can bring this in to create here, and they don't think about the next step.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes for most, slow fashion is the way to go, especially to avoid burnout, because then you're frustrating yourself because you can't figure out the whole plan.
Yeah.
So if you create when you can, based on your mental capacity, and then you take orders based on this, and you have things as either limited, one-offs, capsule collections, you can take a break,
Yeah.
figure out something else, and start again.
Right.
That works. And then just branch out and do other things. So you don't always just have to do one thing. I would commend, there's a brand in St. Vincent, came here Glasgow. She's always done clothing. That's her main thing.
Yeah.
But there's a point in time that she paused on that, and now she's making fragrances.
Okay.
So then in between, while she's not doing her collection, she can still sell her fragrances. She has 2 out right now. She did 1 for an entire year. And that's the next thing too. We try to churn out things so quickly,
Yeah.
and they can't keep up. So she marketed and pushed this for 1 year plus to make sure all of her customers and everybody else had that perfume or understood what it meant to have this perfume. Have it in whatever retail space that she needed to, where now she can launch a new clothing collection in tangent with another scent.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's taking the time and understanding
Yeah.
the processes.
Crafting the product.
People are not, so they're not doing that. So they honestly don't think about the time that things take. They don't think about the processes behind it. They don't think about now the world is now digital, but not to the point of depending on it totally when it comes to social media, but
Yeah.
also thinking about e-commerce and how that comes into play. Even to the point of let's get simple PayPal. We have WePay now that works almost all islands, that kind of vibe
Yeah.
that you can use. And some people don't know. They just don't know.
Do you think there's like a limit to slow fashion though?
When you say
Like
limit,
scalability wise? Because I'm just thinking,
Well,
if you're
it get-
taking your time to make something,
It can only be slow for
You
so
want it
long
to be
before it
sustainable.
grows.
it has to grow.
Yeah.
But that's
You
what
know, like,
happens. You can then manage
if you have
it.
more than 500 or 1,000 orders, is it
No,
still
but
slow at
no,
that
it's not
point?
slow. So, but the thing is, for someone who does slow fashion, you wouldn't take something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay to tell a client that's not what we do.
Yeah. That's
Oh, so you
it's okay to
just
say
want
no.
to make a certain amount, and once you hit
Yeah,
that
you
cap,
make a certain amount, and then if
That's
it's
it.
anything, as I said, if we do it every 3 months or every 6 months, because I'll tell them, come back then, we would have new pieces available.
yeah.
But slow
Right.
is slow, and then that's the thing too, is sticking to your guns. Not just because the check comes in and they're asking for the 500 pieces.
But I'm watching 100 there, and I want to spend it.
You understand?
I want to spend it.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that before.
But it's understanding where you fit into the economy if you are just orange or if you then get into the blue and green.
Okay.
And then the blue for sure is where we starting to get slow. Orange is just the creative side of things. But looking at circular fashion, it has to be slow.
Can you
Okay.
tell us what is circular fashion? Or
So there's linear and there's circular. Linear is
Okay.
literally what fast fashion is. They create, it's purchased, either thrown away or ends up in a landfill.
okay,
Done. There's nothing else. Circular is where it can be regenerated, it's reused, something happens. That's where thrift comes in. That's
okay,
where slow fashion comes in. It's reused in some way. There's where even repairs. They have stores that do alterations. Like you might see a little seamstress once in a while with a little sign saying alterations done here.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it shows in circular fashion from the way too that you even process the materials, the way that the cotton is picked or whatever material you use, or you're using bamboo or whatever it is, you're using hemp, the way that the materials are produced to make the fabrics or to make whatever it is. I didn't bring it today. I have a bag that's made with pineapple leather. You know,
That's new.
Didn't even know pineapples had leather.
I could see how a pineapple skin could.
The pineapple skin, yeah.
You think they soak the leather in pineapple and then they call it pineapple leather?
No, bro, it's not that way.
It probably dried out.
I don't
That's
know.
it.
I'm just asking.
Now you
It's
cut
the
it.
skin.
I'm just
and then
thinking how you would.
scrape off all the pineapple bits and then you leave it to
Yeah,
dry.
but it has like some little
leather.
fibers in it, you see.
Okay.
I'll send a picture. It's really cool. So it's even the way that things are produced
Right.
Yeah.
in a much better state and in a more sensible way. The processes of producing the materials and then the way that it is created, either again less people, less hands in terms of production. So it's not in those big machinery and 10,000 people in a room making this thing. It's either 2 or 3 people, somebody to manage the machine, one person sewing it, and then that's it. And then it becomes to the point of, as I said, when it gets to the consumer, they wear, they rewear, whatever. They repair if needed. But because the quality of the materials or the product is supposed to be better, it would last longer.
Right.
So then, as I said, but then you can repair if needed, or you can hand down to a friend, do it on consignment. You do that repurposing of it as well too. So I can have a shirt and then I can change this shirt into a tank, change it into a waistcoat, use the sleeves to put on pockets and on new pants, that type of thing. And then that's where thrift comes in if we want to hand it over to somebody. So it stays into the cycle a little longer than just going to the landfills because we no longer want to keep it.
Yeah.
But because the materials as well too is a quality material, so it's more quality than quantity, where things just last longer as well.
Do you think it sustainable also depends on the consumer as well too?
Of course.
Because somebody could buy that and just throw it away and it will still end up in
It's-
landfill,
so
and
that
then
is
would it
into
be
the
considered?
awareness and education is a big
Because-
part of it.
Right.
I was just thinking about some clothes that I own. Like I own an Essentials jersey. And I would think it's a really nice quality jersey for me. But they are not known to be sustainable. But if I hold on to it long enough,
Or do something else with it.
or like do other things with it, does that make it now sustainable?
In a way, it's because the process becomes sustainable.
I'm trying to make myself feel better here about my
I
purchase.
know. I know it's a studying Amazon situation.
Nah,
But
not even Amazon. I bought some
But
pants
in
there
a way,
the other
yes,
day.
because remember, it's not so the piece doesn't become sustainable. But now you are practicing sustainable. You're now doing sustainable practices. Because as I said, this is polyester. The
Okay.
material is not sustainable. I own 2 Shein pieces, but I got them in thrift stores.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's the only way I buy Shein and I didn't even realize because I'm not going into a thrift store to look at labels. I see
Yeah.
something that I like or it's a style that I would want, and it just so happened when I check, it's like shit, it's Shein, but it gets to the next life because it
Yeah.
could have been thrown away,
Yeah.
right? And it's similar with this. This is polyester. This is not sustainable material.
Yeah.
Once it's not breathable, it's not light, it's not sustainable.
Right.
But it's getting a second life with me. And then I can still do something else with this. And then what I would start to do after a while, if I don't wear it like this, it might become a cover-up. I could put this on when I go to the beach, so it still gets another life, where I no longer wear it out then, but could be worn on the beach or something.
Mm.
You know? So it's just finding ways to keep your stuff or give it to someone else that they could get a second or third life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently found out that like some brands even go as deep as like the threading on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we mean the thread on it to just make sure that it's not. I don't know. I don't know how thread
most
is
threads
made.
are nylon and polyester.
Right.
Nylon and polyester is they use chemicals to create these materials.
Yeah. Also, do you think sustainable fashion is being thrown around a lot too with certain brands?
Yeah, and it's
Like they're just saying it just
it's
to be like,
greenwashing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw, oh my gosh, I'm gonna read it out for you. You could talk. I'll look it
Yeah,
up.
but there is a lot of greenwashing happening because it's become a buzz. You know, there's a trend for everything.
Yeah. These shoes are made out of plastic bottles.
Yeah, sure.
It's like
And
the
it might
Nike,
just
the Nike
be
shoe, right?
Just-
It's like it was trash.
Just this little
It might be the
plastic
label.
stripe.
You know, some shoes have a little thing,
Yeah.
a little label like a Tom's. It
Yeah.
might be just where it says Tom's. That might be the recyclable material.
I get to
when
the about
everything else
page?
is plastic and
Yeah.
whatever else. And even
Yeah,
to the point where,
petrochemicals. Yeah.
right, and it's not just in terms of the materials, but what they do, because you could say Tom's is a sustainable brand because every shoe purchased, what's happening in terms of they're giving
Plant
back,
I'm
two
gonna
trees.
lie though.
right? Similarly to like with
Them
Farm
shoes
Rio.
not looking good.
What?
Tom's, like everybody used to be like,
Oh, Tom's. Okay.
yeah,
You
they
never
used to
like
be
them?
like, I never liked them.
but
And I really,
I purchased
I really
for someone.
wanted to like
Yeah,
them
but
for
I
what it
understand.
was, but I was like,
But
I really couldn't
they
see
would have
myself
had
wearing
some
these
new
shoes.
styles, but yeah, it's
But at the time, like in school,
when it just came out, yeah.
yeah, I was
Wasn't
like,
the most flattering.
I want to like them, but I can't. I'll just be wasting my. You don't know how Tom's looked.
I know how Tom's look. I know that one.
You own a
like
pair?
slip-on.
Yeah, it's a
looking
kind of
shoe.
slip on.
It just looked like somebody folded something on the front and they like tried to
Yeah,
tuck
it's true
it in.
because it
And
looked
I was
like a kind of origami, something to the
Yeah, I was
front
like, that's
in
not
terms
it.
of that little crease. Yeah, even like this brand Farm Rio, and it's a Brazilian brand, and they are kind of trying to find ways to assist in building back trees because
Yeah.
one of those heads had cleared an area of the Amazon
Mm-hmm.
for for residential and commercial.
Yeah.
Why are we clearing the Amazon?
Come on, man. People that live.
Yeah, but we have to live too because the
I haven't
Amazon
seen-
are the lungs of the earth.
Yeah.
So that does not make any
But
sense.
what about my voter base?
But this
Come on.
one wasn't about
They may die
sustainability.
soon.
Nah.
This
All
one-
these M's I get stealing. No, I mean
Exactly.
collecting in the
I
check.
mean, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one wasn't about sustainability. It was just I think people just really like to word their things nicely to get you to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like 3-4 different paragraphs or whatever.
About what we do and about
yeah,
us.
but it was like each piece is meticulously crafted in the UK.
right.
And that's like the second paragraph, right?
Mhm.
But if you go to like the third one, it says our swimwear, proudly UK design, finds its physical form in Brazil. And I'm like, is it crafted in the UK or is it
Brazil.
made in Brazil? Because now you're confusing me.
Which one is it?
Because
Yeah.
if it's in Brazil, I don't want to buy it anymore. But if it's in the UK and you're thinking about that carbon thingy, whatever you're
Yeah.
talking about, I'll buy it.
I got to.
So that's why I'm like,
And what
is it-
material are they using? Does it say?
I don't know what this is. Oko?
Oh, certified biodegradable. I didn't read that out. But certified biodegradable nylon and textile yarn, groundbreaking innovation epitomizes sustainability. So you see, the thing is, right? A lot of people are also creating things, but it could still be made in a way in the factory that is not sustainable.
Ah.
Because similarly to, I think with the same bamboo, there are two ways to make the bamboo. Even
Right.
though bamboo will be considered sustainable because they're using a plant.
Yeah.
People are extracting from it, and that could be harmful, and then the process takes longer to actually make your fabrics. So bamboo, you will get towels, pillowcases, sheets.
Oh, yeah, I have a pillow. It says
if
bamboo
you look
pillow.
at the labels, it's the same way that was selling in the session I had recently. The same way sometimes we would look at labels for food to know if they have the things, or even like your body products, if they have the parabens and the harmful stuff. Start looking at your labels to see what materials are in it. And as I said, the bamboo is there, but sometimes the way that it's created, they take out the cellulose, which is what is in a plant, and that should be remain in it to make it more sustainable. Because then there's less processes to then make it into a fabric or to make it into materials that can be used. But some of these companies are taking it out, and that's a cheaper way to make it. So even though they're saying it's biodegradable, that's not always true. Or maybe too, it could be biodegradable, but how it was created in the factory was just super harmful, super wrong.
Okay.
But then, so yeah, because even when I think about Tetrax, which was what everybody would have used for school, that's a man-made material.
Okay.
However, it could be considered sustainable only because of the durability. Because once you buy the
lasts
plant,
longer.
Okay.
yeah,
That's why I'm like, people are fancy with their words.
you understand?
Yeah.
So Tetrax, we think is, but you can see there is plastic in Tetrax. I'm sure everybody would at some point would have passed the iron and the iron stay on it and it shines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Plastic burns. That's why it's shining. But it lasts longer. You could get a uniform and wear it for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it was breathable. That's what they did with the man-made to make sure at least that it's breathable. But the material itself is not totally sustainable.
All right.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Can you-
No, you talk. You.
No, I was just gonna ask. Can you tell us about traveling in Africa or your trips there?
That was nice. That wasn't for work though.
Right.
But it was really like a life-changing experience, I would say.
How was your life changed?
Where did you visit?
She wants to see Tyler.
What?
You don't know? You know Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't see her though.
No, but what was the song that she said?
Which
They
one?
never
Water?
send a pretty girl from Joburg.
Yeah, because I did go to
Right, that's what I'm
Johannesburg
saying.
and I did go to Cape
She went to
Town.
see Tyler.
Okay.
I thought they asked me if I saw Tyler.
Oh,
If I
okay.
No.
didn't see Tyler. How random is that? But yeah, and that's it. I think it just had moments where you just felt like at peace.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I don't think in terms of
With the
all of
lions or without the lions?
No, I didn't go to the Lions.
Oh, okay.
So that was actually one of the tours that was offered when we went there.
Yeah.
But there were 2 tours that day. Either go to see the lions
Right.
or do the full safari tour. And that was to me more amazing, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
I'll take
I'd
a
have
full
been-
safari. If it's just lions alone,
I
then.
don't want to stand up on no lion behind me and suppose he decided that morning he
Well,
did
yeah,
not
because
enjoy
they're
his
about
breakfast.
sustainability, so you're trying to sustain your life,
No,
right?
Thank you very much. I didn't understand why they wanted to go. And then when so the group was split that day, right?
Yeah.
And one of them had on like a long kimono, one of the girls, like a long kimono with some pants and a top. And they told her to take. So sometimes when I watch these videos on TikTok, I was like, this is not true. That's the line.
Yeah.
She had to take off her kimono because it was blowing. And
Oh.
they said that could irritate the lion.
Okay.
And then he may no longer be friendly.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
said for safety purposes, please take this off. So they sometimes advise you not to wear flowy pieces.
Okay.
Right.
Not too much sudden movement. These are still wild animals, even though some
Yeah.
of them are sedated. That's the thing.
Right.
That was well too why I didn't want to go, because I was honestly thinking they were being sedated, and I don't want to be a part of that. I would want to see them in their natural element.
Yeah.
So the safari that we went into, we wouldn't always see them up close because it's their living space.
Yeah.
It's not the ones that sedated, and when they see a vehicle, they come up to say hi. No, you're not supposed to be here, which is quite fine. So we see them in their natural element. So I was able to see the baby elephant walking with the mom, and the
Yeah.
mom actually protecting him or her when the truck was passing, because humans are dangerous to them as
Yeah.
we see it, And we were actually, in terms of having an elephant walk right next to you, this humongous animal making the most quiet noise you could ever think of did not make sense. He's walking and it was like silent, but it's still here. Like,
Yeah.
it's just hearing this.
Mm.
And you're thinking you're waiting for the ground to shake.
Right.
He walked literally right next to us, and of course there's always an idiot. He said, make no noise, be as silent as you can.
Hey, yo.
He's calling it like a dog.
Hey, boy.
He was doing that.
I can't even whistle right now. But
And the guide had to tell us, it's a good thing, I guess, because everyone else was quiet, that the elephant didn't take him on, because the elephant could have thrown over the entire truck and all of us.
Yeah, I was
would
like,
have
the
been
size of an
trampled.
elephant is like
We could have all have been trampled, yeah, because we all had to do
probably
this.
like
We all
more than
looked
this,
up.
right?
We all looked up. It was, so we went out, one of those.
And your van is tallish, right? The I don't know,
Jeep,
the
we were in
van,
one of those
the
Jeeps
Jeep.
with the seats. So the tires are like this high, and we have to step in.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
then the elephant is taller than that. And he's passing, and he actually stopped a bit and he watched us. So everybody kind of froze. But it was so nice, I almost cried. And then this fool in the background calling him. But he
Yeah, boy.
He stopped for a bit. And then he walked. But it was kind of scary and nice at the same time. And then after, the guide had to tell us, they threw him off the truck.
Yeah.
When
Feed
we
him to
got
the
our-
lion.
It's like, all
When
right.
we got to our lunch break, they told him he couldn't come back on our vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah, so he got kicked off the tour, basically.
yeah.
Wow.
But it was just a nice experience to see that, and then you saw too, like, how the giraffes interact. They're like the macos of the deep jungle. 'Cause
Did they fight?
I did see one.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
intense.
Yeah, that is scary as
That
hell,
neck
though.
thing is
'Cause it
crazy.
looks like it's going to break.
Yeah.
When they hit each other and they make a noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thud.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very loud. I was like, what is happening? I thought they were going to injure each
It's
other, but then
like,
they said that's a natural thing.
Yeah.
And then you also would see too, like when the lions or any predators would come in, they would know first. Obviously, they
Yeah,
can
it's like-
see. So we were seeing. So that's
Right.
how the guides would then look at to see
Where
where
the giraffe
were
is looking.
Yeah.
So that's how we were able to find some lions.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see that and how they understood that. And then the little noises that baby hippos were making, a little screeching noise. It was so cute.
You little fat.
Hippos are aggressive though, no?
Nobody baby.
No, the
was-
babies are
the baby
Oh, okay.
ridiculous.
was so cute, and the little noise they were making, like if you're screaming.
And if I
at a
could find
balloon.
a
It
picture
was
of
so
it.
cute because when we listened, it's like, wait, what is that noise? And we realized what's coming from the baby hippo.
Right.
And they seeing the elephants and stuff. I saw the big five. I saw the wildebeest, everybody, coyotes, and some other little wild, like a dog.
Hyena?
Another one.
Like
Jackals?
what dog?
We saw the jackal, but there's another one with like a curved ear.
Mm.
It was passing around, so it was very cute. So I can't remember the name of that one. So we did that. That was a really, really nice experience. And then I think to go to a beach in Cape Town, even though the water was super cold, I didn't go in. My friend did.
So you went around this time of the year.
Earlier, no. So now it's actually warmer for them. We went.
Our summers, their winter.
We went April.
Okay.
So it was fall going into winter.
Okay.
So it was cool. So even though some days I would have on like a scarf or a jacket. We saw penguins.
They smell horrible, I'm sure.
It wasn't that bad, but yeah.
Okay.
And that's the next thing too. People don't know that there are penguins in Africa.
Yeah, I know that.
Boulder Beach, and this is a big place. Penguins, some babies stayed straight up, and none of babies. You know they're furry. So
Are they aggressive?
no, they weren't, but they can't snap at you.
Okay.
But I guess they the way that it's created, the space itself, you don't get that close to it, but you can't go bathe in the water if you want.
Right.
But at that time, the water was super cold.
But will they come up to you in the water?
No, they would kind of move away, but they're very cautious. But they would swim near you.
What
Was
is
that a
that?
baby hippo?
That's what a baby hippo looks like.
But it's still very dangerous, and they could swim like.
No, I know. I literally saw a video of
when you wanna
the
follow
grown
following
one
a boat.
following a boat.
Yeah, and he was
And
coming
I'm
out
like-
the water and going back down.
I was like, oh, this man is gonna die.
Yeah, I saw so. I was like, oh yeah, the camera gonna cut off.
Yeah.
I was waiting for
But I was
that
like,
one.
oh wait, how do we get this footage? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but and when they crush, because they can crush your skull.
Yeah. That is
like
like
a melon is
a
a
leaf.
snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's I'm like, hippos are very aggressive, and
Yeah.
I will.
Hippos, rhinos, all of them very.
Some people just don't
dangerous.
care for their life, you know, like they don't realize that
Yeah.
these animals are way stronger than you. They just choose to not be bothered today.
Yeah. For real.
Because if that elephant was like,
Yeah, it's
actually,
I
I'm
feel
going
like
to
I
pick
can
you up.
milk everybody today.
Madness. Like, why would you think that? But there are people who are just don't care about their life.
Because if the elephant picks up that one guy and just,
But it wouldn't be the one guy. That's the thing. He would
No,
want
just
to
saying.
knock over the entire van of all of us.
it's just like,
Because some of them are showing us like their scars that they've gotten from things happening.
right.
The guides know. And he said he's been in a vehicle where the elephant crushed the front, like the engine area.
Yeah.
He stepped on it because
Yeah.
he just wasn't feeling it that day. And somebody irritated him. So he just stepped on it. They had to just stay there and wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, spend the whole time in Canada.
See, if somebody else next one gonna come and he said to
I
crush
say,
the
if a
No.
lion going and pull up now and be like,
Exactly.
finish your job.
and that was even a funny thing.
I
You know,
can't even escape.
we speak of you always say the lion is the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
A lion, they had two lions, they were under a tree, and a rhino literally bullied the lion out of his space, and the lion had to get up and move.
Mm.
Because of the rhino is much bigger than a lion.
Yeah.
And with his horn, he could rip him up.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was literally lazing. However, it was, the rhino was somewhere else, and he decided that he needed to go by that tree to scratch his back, and the lion had to get up and move away.
Mm.
Like, my bad, bro.
It's like, okay, fine, whatever. And he walks away.
Yeah.
So it's even seemed like stuff like that because you're not thinking that. You're thinking, oh, the lion is this big beast. Nobody could tell the lion anything. And it's so funny to see that he's like, move out of my space. I want to come here. He walked around, he circled the tree, and then he stood there and he watched him. And then so the lion just get up and just walk away. Solemn.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. But it really was nice. And then I think too, seeing there were areas that you can see, and it just felt like if it was Trinidad or like home.
Yeah.
When we went to Cape Town, there's an area close to where Nelson Mandela used to live. It looked like Diego Martin. The streets honestly look like in Pity Valley or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, but this is very regular. But then you see too, in terms of apartheid, was not that long ago, and there still is a
still
separation. Yeah, it was in the 60s when I think about it. That was just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And now when I was actually talking to, when I think it was, at Mandela's house, one of the guides after we went through some of the things, because there as well too, you can't take much pictures, especially inside the house. You could take on the outside,
Okay.
but not on the inside. Similarly to when I went to Bob Marley, you can't take pictures inside, but outside you can.
Yeah.
But of course, no one or two people sneaking pictures, but there's an area there's a small library that he still has, and then they add more books and stuff there. And I was talking to a lady just about something, and she's just saying, in terms of apartheid, and she asked, I guess, in Trinidad, how is it with race and different things here too, because she knows in terms of it's not based on other Caribbean islands being more Afrocentric, we are the most mixed.
Yeah.
So she just asked how are things here, and we were just kind of talking, and she said in terms of apartheid there, it's gone, but it's now changed to privatization,
Right.
Mm.
and it's true. Because a lot of things there, especially in Cape Town, because it's more expensive, it's more of the touristy area.
Yeah, they kind of price out the locals.
Yeah. And then everything most times are owned by the whites.
Yeah.
But we made it, at least when we did our wine tour, we did go, say every tour, I think it takes you to like 6 to 8 vineyards in the tour. If the space could possibly hold 30, maybe only 4 are black owned.
Mm.
Right.
So at least we went to one of them though. That was a black owned colored. One was black owned, the person was black, and the next one is considered colored, like what they would say Tyler
mix.
is.
Okay.
Mixed. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they call them colored because remember that's a big issue now with Tyler when she said she was colored, and you're like, oh no, you can't say that. But
Mm.
in South Africa, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Her name is Sital. Well, with the H, but her name is Sital.
Yeah.
Because somebody there is mixed with Indian in some way, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
Indians out there in South Africa.
No.
Right.
Yeah, but you were able, so at least, a lot of things, so again, being mindful, at least for me, I went to or wanted to go to a lot of places that were either black owned or colored.
Right.
And then the money goes back into South Africa.
Yeah.
South Africans and not Africans.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
think
what
that
they wanted
happens.
them to speak as well, too.
Yeah.
That happens when outside money comes in. Like once their money is worth more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I saw this as like also like a little travel hack as well too. You kind of compare like you're watching a country like, hey, I could go here because
It
their
seems-
money is
yeah.
worth less compared to my dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So my money, my
It
dollar
will
would
stretch
stretch
more.
more.
Longer,
Yeah.
So
Because, and that's one thing, food over there is super cheap.
right,
In South Africa, food is cheap.
like how much? If we convert into TT.
Not TT, that's the US. 'Cause
Oh,
that's too
okay,
much
sorry.
confusion.
Because they accept US across there.
They stopped.
They stopped.
Big up them.
Yeah. 1 or 2 places will take. It's very, very minor. But they stopped. They have blocked it. And I remember that particularly just before we went to that one of the Prime Minister and someone else came out and they said they want nothing to do with the United States. And it
Yeah.
was all over the news while we were traveling to go to South Africa. And here, with our
Me
US,
holding my
damn.
US like
That's exactly what happened. So when we got to the airport, we had to go.
Well, this is
get-
awkward.
Yeah, what do we do? We had to go get around. Because
Yeah.
not many places were taking the US. Hotels may take it. But
Yeah.
like tour guides, restaurants, different things,
So
they
no,
would not.
no.
They will take a card. If it's a US card, MasterCard, Visa, they will take.
Yeah.
yeah, because that would convert
Because
it
it converts
immediately.
into anything. But we had to literally go, almost everyone, when we got to the airport, we had to go get around because they were not going to take the US. But like say we did, there was a place that I got 2 glasses of wine. The appetizer was some tuna tartar situation, salmon and sushi.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that came out to about 30 US.
How much glasses of wine?
2 rosé,
Right.
a tuna tartar,
Mm-hmm.
sushi, and a salmon lunch.
Mm.
And normally sushi alone in the US would be like 20 US.
Yeah.
Mm.
A glass of wine, $12, $15, based on where you go. Because the other day I went and I got a glass of wine, was $12 in Williamsburg. Because that's expensive in the States.
Yeah.
30 US.
Yeah,
Really?
you can get $20. Yeah, you can get $20 glass of wine
Yeah.
in Manhattan also.
Yeah.
Easily.
It was 30. So in all those places, when we went, we were tipping high, especially if we had good service.
Yeah.
Oh, they take tips?
They can't. Some years I ask. Everywhere I go, I would ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
you
know
can
some
charge.
places they find it very disrespectful.
No. So as I would ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the US, they're like, yeah, man, you
Of
did
course.
all the work. I want 30% tip.
That's basically it. And have some places, if the service is crap, I'm sorry. I understand the industry. And I know too sometimes they're not paid
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But if your service is crap, I'm sorry, I'm not tipping you.
What was insane was going to Shake Shack in Manhattan using the machine.
And
I
then
was
they
like,
ask for tip, yeah.
I'm like,
Yes, the first time I saw it with the machine, I was like, who am I tipping? Who helps me?
Albert, the AI bot.
I was like,
Nobody helped me.
this machine utterly confused me.
Right, they
Because
didn't
I
know
had to figure out how to use this interface.
How to use it.
Nobody helped me
Clicked the wrong
till
thing. I had to figure out how to go back.
No, when that happened to me, I went straight to the counter. I was like, hey, excuse, can I order? Yeah, please,
I still
because that
fight
machine
up.
was awful to me.
I still fight up to use the machine, and then after all of that, getting some generational trauma.
They're asking for a tip.
Do you
10,
want to
20,
tip?
30?
Yeah, and again, it's suggested. Suggested is always there.
Not even
Annoying.
0.
And not even 5. It starts at 10.
Yeah.
But there's like always like an option that says
No thanks.
you can do no thanks,
Click
right?
no thanks all the time.
Okay.
I can't remember.
And I think for me too, sometimes Shake Shack in terms of all the places, their food is good, but
you
service
know,
is trash.
Yeah.
The cash don't even look up at you. Head is down for the entire interaction.
What looking at you for?
Yeah. If
Is it
you're
food?
if you're eating in,
You're number 5, right?
if you're eating in, and it's on the tray,
Just push it across. This horrible service.
I'm like, hey, dog, this tray already reminded me about a jail, but
you know?
thanks.
No, it's Shake Shack for real, but the food is good, but the
Yeah.
service is trash.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Same thing here too. Sometimes the other day, this girl was in a space in one with broke and I was with a friend. It's like she's just working hard to lessen her tip for everything that she did. She just passed us straight away, waving out, coming, and then forget you. Bring half your order and you're waiting for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we left with our tip in our pockets.
So it be.
It happens.
Where's your favorite place you've traveled to?
South Africa and then Grenada.
Okay.
What's about Grenada?
I don't know, it's just nice. I like it.
Yeah.
It's just a nice vibe. It's
It's
easy. I like the beaches. I like there.
So I'm gonna ask you.
Actually, no. Yeah. Because I was going to Jamaica. Because
Okay.
of the food.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was I gonna ask you? It was about fashion brands. Are there? Asking you a hot topic. Are there any brands, could be sustainable or not, that you think are not worth the money? Like you watch
Locally
it,
or anywhere?
wherever your heart tell you to say,
Okay. That not worth the money?
not worth the money. Like you watch it and it's like, that is probably way too much money for what you're getting, or like, you know that the markup on it is just crazy just because of the brand name. Because I feel like I feel like I watch
in trouble.
I feel like I watch videos on what is it? There's this guy on TikTok. He talks about like how much he thinks they spent to make the item, and then he
Yeah.
tells you how much the item actually costs.
Yeah.
And he's like, a lot of the time it's like
So if you're
$8
thinking that way, especially
to make it, and then
yeah.
it's like this one for $800, and I'm like,
Yeah. So if I was just thinking that too, but it'd be more accessories than clothing. But I know too, again, brand production, but still, oh gosh, everybody is MS. Yeah.
MS. Okay.
Not
I don't
worth
think
it.
No, I don't think it's worth the hype.
but that money is, I mean, it's starting high there though.
Yeah.
And also, I mean,
And
there's-
it's luxury, but then they
yeah,
also
the thing
speak
is
to
that you spend that money and you could kind of sell it back in 5 years and
Yeah.
basically get back the same
So
amount.
yeah, see, so then it's no longer about fashion or style. It
Yeah.
becomes an investment.
Investment. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a business.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's no longer about style and all that. Even to so now even, and I guess I don't know when that happened. Any revamp in terms of Coach? Because I used to have Coach back in the day.
I thought
And now-
Coach was cheap.
It used to be,
I thought so too.
Yeah.
but something I don't know where the resurgence came from. That now it's
Yeah, everybody
that
loves
girl,
Coach.
and now
Yeah.
the price has doubled.
It's
'Cause I
leather,
would have
right?
had-
Is it real leather or
So-
something like that? or-
Not all
No.
pieces, no.
Oh, okay.
Like I've heard people talking about me and my Coach bag, and they say
Yeah,
like,
I've had Coach
like
sneakers, Coach everything,
I'm like,
and it was
the-
not what people paid for it.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
in my head I
I
was
still
like,
have somebody throw
the-
the crossbodies and wristlets. And all this
Yes.
stuff so expensive now.
You get some
Yeah.
money for some
I-
vintage
You
there?
understand? Let me check it
remember-
there and see what's going on.
I remember hearing about Coach and Coach. A Coach bag was like 30 US max.
Yeah, outlet prices. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
get something for like, but like I had a tote bag would have been maybe 100, and that's expensive back in the
Yeah.
day, you know. But a tote bag used to last. You remember I had one tote bag that I used that at least 4
Right down
years
till
for
we lie
work.
down.
Yeah, basically for work. That's my work bag. And Kevin matching on that
Yeah.
work bag, you
Yeah.
know. And now triple the price.
Okay.
It
No.
have a lot. It have a lot local, but I don't want to call any names.
It didn't have to be local. That's why I was like,
Yeah, I didn't want to.
I was trying to give you a little out.
Yeah,
Could that be
thank you for
international?
that. Cause yeah,
Okay, well, which ones are most worth it then? Give me a top 3, top 5 if you want to do that.
I think Farm Rio is a good one. They have nice style. The
Farm
finish is
Rio?
always good. Yeah.
I don't know what that one.
I like that
Big up
brand.
them. Spell out for me.
Farm Rio.
FARM.
Mm-hmm.
I heard FAM.
Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Farm Rio.
Got them.
Yeah.
Local?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I watched this 1.4 verified. I was like, ooh, they're big in the dance. Okay, Farm Rio. Does it top one? Was the
For
other two?
international.
Mm-hmm.
Who else international I think is doing a good thing and that's worth the money. I saw somebody, the name popped up, that's the one I can't remember.
This is nice.
My lifeline is my phone, my Instagram. Got messages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm searching to see who I remember. You know when I get like that brain fart? I think I just
Yeah, that's what happens in the game.
Wow.
they have nice stuff.
Big up Farm Rio.
I could give a jewelry brand locally that I think is always worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Coco Vintage.
Coco Vintage.
Mm-hmm.
She's worth it. And she also does a thrift as well under her brand, which I really appreciate too because I purchased from her.
Mm-hmm. Last one?
Brandon Blackwood.
Brand and Blackwood.
No, Brandon Blackwood. A black owned in New York, US brand.
Brandon Blackwood. Okay.
Somebody I purchased from recently for the first time that I've been looking at, and the finish and the entire process I think was really good. Ria Imani from Jamaica. Yeah.
Ria Imani. Hold on.
Yeah.
My list is there's only so much tabs I could open up here. Oh.
Which one are you looking
Copyright.
at now?
The last one was on Brandon
Brandon
Blackwood.
Blackwood.
Ria Imani.
Yeah, RHEA.
Why do I know that? Jamaican, they said?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I tried to shoot with her at time.
What's that?
You tried to
I
shoot
tried to
with
shoot with her. I never got a response back.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
So it'd be.
Big up Ria still.
Yeah, big up
Message her
Ria
again,
still.
man.
We'll see. I'll message
So I
her.
literally just ordered some stuff from her.
Yeah.
The outfit is from.
Because I saw, I was like, oh, this is real cool. I would love to
Yeah.
go Jamaica and shoot this and or
And
have
then
her send.
she does most of her the modeling and the pieces she wears them too.
Yeah.
So,
I was like, and or have her send things down for me
Yeah.
to shoot it. But because I
we
saw
can
the
work on
face.
something, man, because I want to get some of her pieces in my store so we can see what can happen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To
She's
end
another
off.
one too in terms of like slow fashion because she
Yeah.
will do made to order.
Okay. Which is why I also was like, I could go Jamaica and shoot this. Because I was like, and if she's doing made to order, she'll have to make a lot of these
no, but
things
she
to then
at
come
least
on.
have her samples because she does the samples. She wears her samples.
Ah,
Yeah.
true.
Because that's what I do as well. Most of my samples I wear them and then
I did not
have
think
clothes
about that
after.
one. Mm.
The finish on her stuff is really, really good.
Okay, yeah. To finish off, random questions. Favorite type of cheese? If you could eat cheese.
I shouldn't, but I do.
Mm-hmm. Favorite cheese?
Feta.
Favorite book?
Actually, no, Gouda. Sorry.
Gouda.
Yeah, I smoke Gouda.
Favorite book?
That I've read
Yeah.
overall.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes.
Hidden talent. You're not supposed to think.
I guess that's like I read music.
Okay. If you were to be a superhero, which one would you be?
Invisibility.
If you had a theme song, what would it be?
Leave me alone and call me after 9.
Best birthday gift.
I can't remember, but I'll say Christmas. The South Africa trip was a Christmas gift.
Okay. If you had to be in a talent show, what would be the talent that you show?
To play pan?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll play pan.
What was the best compliment you've ever received?
That I'm perfectly molded.
That's all my questions. Do you have anything else, sir? All right. Well, this has been fun.
It was.
Thank you for giving us your time.
No problem.
This has been Ayin.
Point.
Get it right.
Get it right. I feel like I've said it in my head
Enough
wrong every time I've said it today.
But if you said it right just now.
Okay. So yeah, we appreciate you. We'll link all of your social media.
Yes. Well, Ayin_Bold Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
That's personal. The Fashion Arch or the Fashion Arch TT. Fashion Arch Lifestyle, the Fashion Arch Gallery.
Everything will be there
Yeah.
for them to find. So thank you again.
You're welcome.
It's been Jabari,
And Jabari.
And Ayin.
and we'll see you all next week.
Later.
Except for Ayin.
Yeah. No, I'm not here.